I woke up that morning with a smile I couldn't hide, and I remember whispering to myself, this is it, this is the day everything finally becomes real. My hands shook a little as I grabbed my jacket, but it wasn't fear. It was excitement, something warm, bright, and loud inside my chest. When I reached the house, Mr. Jacobs was already waiting near the porch. Big day, Ethan, he said, waving the papers at me. Big isn't even the word, I replied. I've been dreaming about this for years. Well, he laughed, today you stop dreaming and start living in it. I followed him inside, and the moment the door opened, I felt breathless. God, it's even better than I remembered. You looked at it twice already, he said. Still not tired of it? No. This place feels alive. Like it's been waiting for us. We walked through the empty living room. Mr. Jacobs lifted the key. You ready for this? More than ready, I said, grabbing it. Lena's going to lose her mind when she sees it. Surprises like this usually go well, he replied. She'll love it. I know she will. She kept saying she wanted a fresh start. This is it. I stepped into the kitchen and smiled. I can already hear her saying she wants the big window for her plants. What about you? He asked. I just want peace, I said. And maybe a place where we can argue without hearing the neighbors. He laughed again, and we finished the final walkthrough. When he left, I stayed behind, holding the key in both hands. This is our home, I whispered. Our new beginning. My phone buzzed. Lena. I answered immediately. Hey, baby, guess where I am? She sighed, sounding tired. Ethan, not now. I'm busy. Oh, are you okay? Yeah, just stressed. Did you need something? I just wanted to hear your voice, I said. I have something big to tell you later. Well, tell me now, she muttered. No, I said. I want to see your face when I say it. She paused. Fine. I'll see you tonight. Love you, I said. Yeah, she replied before hanging up. I stood there, staring at the phone. That tone, it didn't sound like her. But I shook my head and said, maybe she's tired. She's been stressed for weeks. I forced a small smile. Tonight we'll fix everything. I walked down the hall, touching each wall lightly. This room, I said softly, this could be the office. Or maybe a nursery one day. I imagined Lena rolling her eyes and saying, slow down. One dream at a time. And me laughing, replying, I can't help it. I want everything with you. In the master bedroom, I stood at the window and whispered, we'll wake up to this view every morning. I pictured her arms wrapping around me from behind. I pictured her saying, Ethan, it's perfect. But as I kept imagining it, something cold brushed the back of my thoughts, a strange discomfort. Why did she sound like that? I asked myself. Why did she rush the call? I shook my head again. Stop overthinking. She'll smile. She'll cry. She'll probably yell at you for buying it without her. And I laughed. That's Lena. Emotional, messy, mine. I locked the door behind me and walked to my car. Before getting in, I looked at the house one last time. You're ours now, I whispered. The place where everything changes. As I sat in the driver's seat, I held the key up to the sunlight. Today, I whispered, everything changes. And I drove home, not knowing how right I was, or how wrong. I reached the apartment earlier than planned, still holding the key to the house like it was some kind of treasure. I even whispered, she's going to freak out, as I walked down the hallway toward our door. The moment I stepped inside, I froze. Lena? I called out. No answer. But there were sounds. Soft at first. A laugh. Then whispering. Then, a man's voice. I stood there, telling myself, maybe she's watching a show. Maybe someone on the phone. Maybe. Another muffled laugh cut me off, sharper this time, too close, too real. My stomach twisted. I walked slowly toward the bedroom, each step heavier than the last. Lena? I said again, louder. Still nothing. I stopped right in front of the door. My hand hovered over the doorknob. Don't open it, I whispered to myself. Don't think stupid things. But the whispering grew louder, breathier, wrong. A man chuckled. My whole body went cold. No, she wouldn't, I muttered, but the words didn't even sound like mine. I pushed the door open. Everything inside me shattered. Lena screamed, Ethan. Mark jumped up, grabbing the blanket, half-dressed, eyes wide. "Man, wait," he said. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't blink. I couldn't think. The key slipped from my hand and hit the floor with a sharp clink. What is this?" I asked, my voice shaking so hard I barely recognized it. Lena scrambled for her clothes. "Ethan, listen, please listen." "Don't," I whispered. "Please, it's not." "Don't," I said louder. "Don't say anything. Don't lie to me right now." She moved toward me, reaching out. "Ethan, I swear it's not what you think." "Not what I think." I snapped. "There's a man in our bed, Lena. Our bed." Mark stepped forward. "Look, dude, calm down." I pointed at him. "Say one more word and I swear I'll break your jaw." He backed up instantly. Lena grabbed my arm. Please let me explain. I was going to tell you." "Tell me what?" I shot back. "That you're bored? That you're lonely? That I wasn't enough? Which excuse were you planning to use?" "It just happened," she whispered. "That makes it worse," I said. "God, that makes it so much worse." My chest felt like it was collapsing. The room spun. The walls pressed in on me. I stepped back, shaking my head. "No. I can't. I can't hear this. I can't see this." "Ethan, wait," she cried. Mark muttered, "Let him go. He's in shock." I glared at him. "You don't get to talk about my shock." He looked away. I turned toward the hallway. Lena rushed behind me. "Please, don't leave like this. We need to talk." "There's nothing to talk about," I said. "Whatever we were, you killed it." She grabbed my hand. "I love you, Ethan." I pulled away. "Don't ever use that word with me again." I walked out before she could say anything else. I didn't slam the door. I didn't yell. I just left. Inside the bathroom down the hall, I locked the door and leaned over the sink. My hands were trembling so hard I had to grip the edges just to stay upright. "Why today?" I whispered. "Why now?" And for the first time in years, I felt completely, painfully hollow that I walked without thinking, just following the sidewalk like it could lead me somewhere safer than my own mind. Every few minutes my phone buzzed again. "Lena." And again. And again. I muttered, "Stop calling me," but the vibration kept cutting into my thoughts like a knife. By the time I reached the closed cafe, my legs gave out. I sat on the cold step, staring at my shaking hands. I whispered, "Why did it have to be today?" Another buzz. I turned the phone face down. "I don't want to hear your voice," I said under my breath. A few minutes later, footsteps approached. "Ethan?" Noah's voice cracked through the quiet night. I didn't look up. "How did you find me?" "You share your location with me, idiot," he said, sitting beside me. "I saw the messages." "What happened?" I laughed, but it came out broken. "You don't want to know." "Try me," he said. "Start talking." I swallowed hard. "I bought the house today." "You actually did it?" "Yeah. Signed everything. Got the key." I held it up weakly. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. "What went wrong?" he asked softly. I felt my chest tighten. "I went home early. I thought I'd surprise her. I thought she'd scream and jump on me and cry like she always imagined." "And?" I stared at the ground. She was screaming, but not for me. Noah froze. "Ethan, what do you mean?" I heard voices in the bedroom. His jaw clenched. "No. Yes." My voice cracked. A man's voice. Laughing. Whispering with her. He covered his mouth. "Please don't tell me it was." "Mark," I said. "Our friend. My friend." Noah cursed loudly. "That piece of..." I cut him off. I walked in. They were right there, Noah. Right in our bed. He looked at me with disbelief and anger. "What did she say?" "Nothing that mattered," I muttered. She tried to explain. Mark tried to talk. I told them both to shut up. Good. I just left. I couldn't breathe. My phone buzzed again. Noah snatched it from the ground. "Stop answering her. She doesn't deserve even a text." "I haven't answered anything," I said. "I don't think I can." "Good," he repeated. "Because if you go back there, she'll twist everything. She'll cry, she'll blame stress, she'll say you weren't around enough, she'll say anything to save herself." I rubbed my face. I don't know where to go. Everything feels broken. He looked right at me. Move into that house. I blinked. What? You heard me, he said firmly. Move into the dream house. It's yours. You bought it with your heart, your effort, your dreams. She doesn't deserve a single wall of it. I shook my head. It feels wrong going there alone. It feels wrong only because you imagined her beside you, he said. Stop imagining her. Start imagining your life without her. His words hit me like a punch, painful, but real. I held the key tightly, almost painfully. Fine, I whispered. I'll go. And for the first time that night, I finally stood up. I unlocked the door to the house and stepped inside alone. The air smelled like fresh paint and sunlight, and silence hit me like a fist. I dropped my bag and just stood there, breathing. This was supposed to be ours, I whispered, my voice echoing off the empty walls. Our start, our dream. A knock on the door made me jump. I opened it to see Mrs. Turner, the elderly neighbor from across the street. Oh, hello, Ethan. I thought I'd welcome you both, she said cheerfully. I swallowed hard. It's just me now. There's no both. Her eyes softened. I see. She paused. Some people break what you build. Live here anyway. Her words struck me. She wasn't offering comfort, she wasn't sugarcoating. She was blunt, honest. I nodded, saying, yeah, live here anyway. Once she left, I wandered into the living room. I dropped to the floor and hugged my knees, hearing her voice in my head, Lena laughing, calling my name. Stop, I whispered. Stop imagining her. She's gone. I stood and walked toward the kitchen. This was supposed to be our place, I said aloud. Cooking together, mornings with coffee, arguments over dumb things. I laughed bitterly. Alone, here? The bedroom felt heavier than the rest. I ran my hands along the walls, imagining the future that would never come. Why did it all fall apart? I asked the empty room. Silence answered me. I moved to the master bathroom, flicking on the lights. The mirrors reflected only me, no Lena, no laughter, just my own haunted eyes. You're mine now, I muttered. You're mine now, house. Not hers. I explored the upstairs. Each room held echoes of my imagination, our potential life, our children, our shared mornings. I argued with myself as I walked. No, don't think about her, I said aloud, pacing the hallway. This house is mine. It's always been mine. She just wanted to ruin it. I stopped in the smallest bedroom and sat on the floor, hugging my knees. She'll never see this as it should be seen. Never. I wandered downstairs to the study, running my fingers along the windowsill. This could have been our office together. Our library. Our quiet corner of peace. I clenched my fists. Peace is mine. She can't have it anymore. Finally, I returned to the living room. I lay on the polished wood floor, arms spread out, staring at the ceiling. The silence was still there, but it didn't feel oppressive anymore. This house is mine now, not hers, I whispered again, letting the words sink in. I let out a shaky breath. For the first time since the betrayal, I felt a small flicker of something, strength, ownership, control. I stayed there for a while, listening to my own heartbeat. The walls didn't echo Lena's laughter anymore. The rooms didn't remind me of what I lost, they reminded me of what I could take back. This is mine, I said softly, closing my eyes. And I'm not letting her have a single piece of it. The silence didn't feel empty anymore. It felt like the beginning. My phone started buzzing before sunrise. I stared at the ceiling, listening to it vibrate across the floor. Lena, I muttered. Of course. It rang again. And again. And again. Fine, I snapped, grabbing it. I answered without thinking. What? Her voice exploded through the speaker. Ethan, thank God. Please, please don't hang up. I've been calling all night. I closed my eyes. Say what you want to say. Fast. Come home, she begged. Please. I need to explain. You left without letting me. I left because I saw enough, I cut in. You want to explain? Explain why he was in our bedroom. Silence. Then a shaky breath. I was stressed, she whispered. Everything was falling apart. I felt alone. I made a mistake. A mistake doesn't have a name, Lena, I snapped. A mistake doesn't send you messages at 2 a.m. A mistake doesn't stand in my house. She exhaled sharply. I'm not blaming you, but you weren't there for me emotionally, Ethan. I felt abandoned. I laughed bitterly. So you opened the door to someone else? That's your justification. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said quickly. I swear. It was just loneliness and confusion. You're lying, I said quietly. You're still lying. Even now. My phone buzzed in my ear, another message coming through. I pulled it away to look. Mark, be a man and move on. Stop acting weak. My hand tightened. My pulse spiked. Of course he texted me, I muttered. What? What did he say? Nothing important. I felt my chest burn. I wanted to scream. I wanted to break something. Instead, I hurled the phone across the living room. It hit the wall and crashed to the floor. Her voice kept coming through the cracked speaker. Ethan? Are you still there? Please, talk to me. I walked over, picked it up, and spoke through clenched teeth. You want me to come home so you can rehearse some excuse. You want me to pretend it didn't happen. You want to reset everything, right? Yes, she whispered. Yes, exactly. We can fix this. No, I said. We can't. I'm done being the one who tries. She started crying, loud and messy. Don't say that. Please don't. I love you. I love you so much. I don't want to lose you. You already did, I said. The second you chose him. She sobbed harder. Just come home. Let's talk face to face. Don't do this over the phone. I'm staying here, I said. This house is mine now. Not yours. Ethan. I ended the call. For a moment, the silence inside the house felt like it weighed 100 pounds. I paced, dragging my hands through my hair. I can't do this, I whispered. I can't deal with her. I can't deal with him. I can't deal with any of it. But I didn't leave. I didn't run. I stayed right there. Minutes passed. Then, bang, bang, bang. I froze. Ethan. Lena's voice thundered from outside. Open the door. Please. We need to talk. I stared at the door, jaw tight, heart racing. No, I said under my breath. You don't get to stand here. She kept knocking, calling my name, begging. I walked away from the door. I didn't open it. I refused. I heard a soft knock on the door, nothing like Lena's frantic pounding from earlier. For a moment, I considered ignoring it, but then a quiet voice whispered, Ethan, it's me. Emily. My stomach tightened. I opened the door a few inches. Why are you here? She stepped inside quickly, eyes red. I shouldn't be. Lena doesn't know I came. I shut the door behind her. Then say what you need to say. I'm sorry, she whispered. For everything she did. For what you walked into. You didn't deserve any of it. I crossed my arms. You didn't come here just to apologize. Her lips trembled. No. I came to tell you the truth. I felt my pulse jump. What truth? She looked down. This wasn't the first time. My breath left my chest. What? They got close before, she said softly. Months ago. I told her to stop. I begged her. She promised me she would. I stared at her. So you knew. I tried to stop it, she said, tears forming. But she kept saying it wasn't serious. That it was just attention. That she needed something. Something? I repeated sharply. Something other than me? She wiped her face. Ethan, she's been spiraling for a long time. She kept saying she was bored. Restless. Like her life wasn't exciting enough. I laughed under my breath, bitter. And cheating was exciting. I'm not defending her, Emily said quickly. I'm telling you what she told me. I leaned against the wall. Why now? Why tell me this today? Because you deserve to know the truth, she said. And because she won't tell you herself. I nodded slowly. There's more, isn't there? Emily hesitated, then whispered, the house. My chest tightened. What about it? She pushed you to buy it, she said. Not because it was your dream. Not because it was her dream. But because she thought a fresh environment would fix her boredom. My jaw clenched. Boredom, I repeated. She said a new house might make things feel exciting again, Emily continued. Something big. Something different. Something to distract her. I closed my eyes. So the house wasn't our future. It was her entertainment. Emily nodded, sobbing now. I'm so sorry, Ethan. I wanted to tell you sooner, but she made me promise. She said you'd leave if you knew. A long silence settled between us. Finally, I whispered, I already left. Emily moved closer. You didn't deserve any of this. You loved her. You gave her everything. And it still wasn't enough, I said. Her voice cracked. She doesn't deserve you. I looked away. No. She doesn't. She squeezed my arm gently. Please don't blame yourself. I don't, I said. I blame her. And him. Emily nodded. If you need anything, I'm here. Thank you, I whispered, for telling me what she wouldn't. She left quietly. As soon as the door clicked shut, everything inside me broke. I punched the wall, once, twice, 3 times, until my hand throbbed. Why wasn't I enough? I gasped. The empty house echoed my words back at me. I looked around, breathing hard. This house isn't our dream anymore, I whispered. It's my revenge. I woke up after maybe an hour of sleep, my head pounding, my chest tight. I sat on the floor, staring at the wall like it might talk back. My phone buzzed again and again, but I didn't check it. I just whispered, I can't do this anymore. Noah showed up without knocking. He stepped inside and froze. Ethan, man, you look destroyed. I feel worse, I muttered. You need help, he said. Real help. I called someone. She's on her way. I didn't even fight him. I didn't have the strength. A few minutes later, a calm voice came from the doorway. Ethan? I'm Dr. Myra Wells. May I come in? I nodded weakly. Sure. Doesn't matter. She sat on the floor in front of me, crossing her legs. I don't want this to feel like an office. Just talk to me. I rubbed my face. I don't even know where to start. Start with how you feel right now, she said gently. I let out a shaky breath. I feel useless. I feel unwanted. Like someone threw me away. She nodded slowly. And why do you think you feel that way? I laughed bitterly. Why do you think? The girl I planned a future with cheated on me. Not once. Not by accident. She chose someone else. And I still feel like it's my fault. Her voice softened. Why do you think it's your fault? Because I loved her more than she loved me, I muttered. Because she got bored. Because I wasn't enough to keep her happy. Because she wanted excitement, and I was just me. Myra tilted her head. Ethan, listen to what you're saying. You're blaming yourself for someone else's brokenness. I swallowed hard. Then why does it hurt like I caused it? Pain doesn't always follow logic, she said. But betrayal is never the victim's fault. I looked at her, eyes stinging. Then why do I feel so lost? Because something you believed in died, she replied. And you're grieving it. I stared at the floor. I can't sleep. I can't think. I can't even breathe without feeling it. What do you usually do when you feel overwhelmed? She asked. I used to talk to Lena, I said quietly. And now even her voice makes me sick. Myra nodded. So the person who hurt you was also your comfort. That creates chaos inside you. It makes everything unstable. I clenched my fists. I hate this. I hate how much power she still has over me. She leaned forward slightly. Then let me ask you something, Ethan. What do you want now? I froze. Her question hit like a punch. The house was silent. My heartbeat was loud. What do I want? I whispered. Yes, she said softly. Not what Lena wants. Not what others expect. What you want. I opened my mouth but nothing came out. My throat closed. I don't know. That's okay, she said. But find the answer. It matters more than anything else right now. The session ended quietly. She stood. You're stronger than you think. Noah squeezed my shoulder before they both left. The door closed, and I sank back onto the floor, Myra's question echoing in my skull. What do you want now, Ethan? I looked around at the empty rooms, at the key on the counter, at the life Lena tried to shatter. I want this, I whispered. This house. My space. My healing. And she will never take it from me. I wiped my face, breathing deeply. I'm staying. Even if it destroys her to know. My phone buzzed while I was sipping coffee in the empty kitchen. Emily? I answered. Ethan. You won't believe it, she said, almost whispering. It's Lena, she's falling apart. I leaned against the counter. What do you mean? She called me crying. Mark refuses to commit. She's begging him to stay, but he's done. He's gone. I felt a strange chill. Not happiness, not exactly, but satisfaction. She thought she could have both of you, Emily continued. But now she has neither. I didn't say anything. I just let the silence stretch. Her job, Emily said hesitantly. People are gossiping about the scandal. The office, she might lose it if this spreads more. I whispered, almost to myself, Karma has a funny way of working. She called me last night again, Emily said. Her father is furious. He says she embarrassed the family. Ethan, it's bad. I nodded slowly, though she couldn't see me. I see. Are you happy? She asked softly. I paused. I'm not happy, I said honestly. I'm detached. Observing. She doesn't even know I'm noticing this. And that's enough. Emily let out a breath. It feels like justice, doesn't it? I didn't do anything, I whispered. I didn't ruin her life. She did. I just survived it. Later, Noah called. Ethan, you there? Yeah, I said. What's up? Just checking in. How's the house? I looked around at the empty, quiet rooms. It's peaceful. It's mine. Finally. I heard about Lena, he said carefully. Everything falling apart. I smirked, though my chest felt heavy. Yeah. Mark's gone. Her job's a mess. Her dad's furious. And you know what? I'm not celebrating. I'm just watching her consequences catch up. Sounds like you're holding back satisfaction, he said. Maybe I am, I admitted. It's weird. I don't want her suffering. I just want it to be natural. Life, finally, reflecting her choices. Noah laughed softly. Karma, then. Exactly. Karma, I echoed, feeling the words resonate. I didn't push her. I didn't plot. I just stayed alive while she destroyed herself. Silence filled the line. I guess you feel vindicated, he said finally. Not really, I said. It's complicated. I still hurt. I still miss pieces of what I thought we had. But the difference is, now I don't reach for her. I don't need her validation. I just exist, away from the mess. Noah chuckled. Sounds like a healthy kind of revenge. I smiled faintly. Yeah. She won't understand. She won't see it coming. I live my life. She lives with her consequences. That's all. After I hung up, I walked through the living room, staring at the sunlight through the windows. She's falling apart, I whispered to myself. I didn't ruin her life. She did. And for the first time in weeks, I felt an odd calm settle in. The house was quiet, my sanctuary, untouched by her mistakes. I sat in the living room chair, holding my coffee, and let the silence sink in. This was my life now. Her chaos didn't touch me. I whispered again, softly, almost like a mantra. She did this to herself. I heard the knock before I even reached the hallway. Slow, shaky, almost pleading. I froze halfway down the stairs, my hand gripping the railing, and then her voice slipped through the cracks. Please, please open the door. My chest tightened. Lena. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just stood there, listening. I know you're inside, she whispered, her words trembling. I saw your car outside. Please don't shut me out. I stepped closer but stopped right behind the door. What do you want, Lena? A broken sound escaped her. I needed to see you. I didn't know where else to go. You shouldn't have come here. I know. She sniffed hard. But I'm falling apart, and you're the only person who ever cared. That's not true anymore. She pressed her palm against the door. I could hear the soft drag of her skin. Mark used me, she said. He took everything. My money, my trust, my time, everything. And when I confronted him, he laughed. He laughed and told me I was stupid. I shut my eyes. And what do you want me to do about that? Her voice cracked. I want another chance. No, I said before she even finished. Please don't say that. Her breathing quickened. I'm begging you. I have nothing left. I lost my job. My apartment. My dignity. I don't even know who I am anymore. And you think I can fix that? I whispered. You always knew how to put me back together. You're wrong, I said. I only held you while you broke yourself. She let out a sob, loud enough to echo under the porch roof. I made a mistake. You made a choice, I replied. A choice that destroyed us. I didn't mean to. You killed us, Lena. Not me. Her breaths turned uneven, panicked. I know, okay? I ruined everything. I chose him. I betrayed you. I abandoned you. I was selfish. I was blind. But I'm here now. I'm trying. Doesn't that count for something? Not enough to open this door. She slid down until her voice came from near the floor. I don't deserve your forgiveness. I know that. But just talk to me. Please. Please don't let me fall apart alone. I am talking, I said. But that's all I can do. I miss you, she whispered. I swallowed hard. You miss the version of me that would have forgiven you instantly. He's gone. I can change, she cried. Just give me a chance to show you. You already had your chance. Silence. Heavy, painful silence. Then she screamed my name, raw, desperate, broken. The sound shot straight through me, rattling the empty hallway behind me. She sobbed harder, choking on every breath, like her chest was collapsing in on itself. My hand hovered over the lock. Just a twist. Just one. I almost did it. Almost. But I didn't. I pulled my hand back and whispered, "Goodbye, Lena." Her cries carried through the door long after I stepped away. I heard a soft knock, nothing like the desperate pounding from last night. When I opened the door, Ava stood there holding 2 takeout bags. I brought food, she said gently. You didn't show up to lunch, so I figured maybe you forgot to eat. I didn't forget, I muttered. Just wasn't hungry. Still, she said, stepping inside without crowding me, you should eat. I closed the door behind her. You didn't have to come all the way here. I know. That's why I did. She set the bags on the counter. No pressure. No questions. Just food. I let out a slow breath. Thanks. She glanced around. Your house feels quiet. That's one word for it. She didn't push. She just opened the containers. Sit. Eat with me. I sat across from her, the steam rising between us like a thin, warm barrier. I'm not great company right now. That's okay, she said. I'm not here for entertainment. So why are you here? Because last week you brought me soup when I had the flu, she said. And you said, no one should feel alone when they are hurting. I figured, that applies to you too. I rubbed my forehead. I didn't expect anyone to remember that. I did. She took a slow bite, watching me without staring. You look exhausted. I am. She nodded. You want to talk about it? I hesitated. Not everything. Then talk about the part you can. I swallowed, then whispered, someone came by last night. Someone important. Someone who used to be. I stared at the table. She was a mess. Ava didn't pry. That must have been hard. It was, I admitted. I almost opened the door. But you didn't. No. That sounds like strength to me. It didn't feel like strength, I said. It felt like ripping myself in half. Sometimes healing does. Her calmness softened the tightness in my chest. You've been through something like this? She nodded. Yeah. Different details. Same pain. She looked down. I remember feeling like my whole world cracked and the pieces didn't fit anymore. And how long did that last? Longer than I wanted, she replied. But it finally stopped hurting when I stopped pretending the past could be fixed. I let her words settle. They didn't sting. They didn't pull. They just rested there. She stood and walked slowly around the living room. Your house feels warm. I snorted. It's empty. Empty doesn't mean cold, she said, trailing her hand across the back of the couch. Sometimes spaces hold more hope than furniture. I leaned back, watching her. You make it sound poetic. It's true, though. She smiled softly. It feels like a place that's waiting for something good. I felt something shift inside me, small, unfamiliar, gentle. You think so? I do. She grabbed her coat. And for what it's worth, you deserve good things. She walked to the door. Thanks for coming, I said quietly. Anytime, she replied, stepping out. Really? When she left, the silence didn't feel heavy anymore. I caught myself smiling, barely, but real. I whispered into the empty room, maybe this house can still be a home, even if the history hurts. My phone vibrated on the counter. Another message. I glanced at it, Lena again. Ethan, please. I was wrong. I can't believe I did this. I can't stop thinking about you. I need you back. I stared at the screen. I didn't reply. I didn't even read the next line. I just put the phone down. Noah walked in, carrying coffee. She's still texting? I shrugged. Yeah. I read a few lines. That's it. Don't, he said firmly. You're done. You survived it. I nodded slowly. I think I'm finally done. I don't feel hollow anymore. I feel solid. Like myself again. He raised an eyebrow. That's good. Jason called a few hours later. Ethan, man, you sound different. Stronger. I admitted. I stopped letting the past control me. Every message, every memory, it doesn't break me now. You've leveled up, Jason said. Good for you. I leaned back against the couch, sipping my coffee. I think, for the first time in months, I slept without nightmares. That's progress, Noah said, smiling. Finally. It is, I agreed. It's weird. I used to feel haunted in this house. Every corner reminded me of her. Every wall echoed her laughter. And now? Jason asked. I walked toward the window, letting the sunlight hit my face. Now it feels like mine. Not just a house I bought. Not a place she ruined. Mine. My space. My life. My rules. Noah nodded. Sounds like a proper shift in power. I laughed softly. Yeah. She doesn't own my heart anymore. She doesn't control my thoughts. She doesn't get to decide my peace. Jason leaned back, quiet for a moment. Feels good to say it out loud, huh? Yeah, I said, letting the words settle inside me. It feels free. I still care, in a way, but it's not pain. It's just a memory. And memories don't hurt anymore. Noah smirked. Look at you, philosopher of heartbreak. I grinned faintly. Maybe. But seriously, this house, these walls, they don't scare me anymore. Every shadow, every echo, it's calm. I can breathe here. I can live here. I can finally think about my future without her shadow looming. Jason's voice softened. That's a good place to be. I know, I said quietly, almost whispering to myself. I can finally move forward. She's gone from my life, but I'm still here. Stronger, clearer, unbroken. Noah clapped me on the shoulder. Then it's official. You're the one in control now. I nodded, looking around the living room bathed in sunlight. The space felt alive again, like it was welcoming me, not reminding me of her. She doesn't own my heart anymore, I whispered again. For the first time in a long while, I smiled and felt it stick. This house was mine. I was finally mine. The knock came in the late afternoon. Slow, hesitant, almost fearful. I walked to the door and stopped. My hand hovered over the knob. For a moment, I considered not opening it. Then I exhaled and turned it. Lena stood there, eyes red, shoulders slumped. Ethan. I gestured for her to come in. Talk. That's all. She stepped inside carefully, as if the floor might crack under her weight. I'm so sorry. I don't even know where to start. You can start anywhere, I said calmly. I'm listening. Her voice shook. I betrayed you. I destroyed everything we built. I was selfish, careless, and cruel. I never stopped thinking about what I lost. I nodded, letting her words sink into the quiet room. I forgive you, I said softly. She froze. You, what? I forgive you, I repeated. But that doesn't mean I'll return. That door, that life, it's closed forever. Tears ran freely down her cheeks. I understand. I deserve that. I needed to say it aloud. To let you hear it from me. You did, I said. And that's enough. You've said what needed saying. She looked at me, searching, desperate. You changed, Ethan. You're different. Stronger. Calm. I barely recognize you. I smiled faintly, a little bitter, a little proud. You taught me to. She let out a shaky laugh. I suppose I did. In all the wrong ways. You left me broken, I said quietly. But I pieced myself together. I didn't stay in the ruins. I lived through it, and I'm still standing. She swallowed hard. I wish I could be proud of you without the pain I caused. You can be, I said. Just don't expect me in your life again. That chapter is over. Mine is just beginning. Her lips trembled. I'll never forget you, Ethan. Or what we had, or what I lost. Neither will I admitted. But memories aren't chains. They're lessons. She nodded slowly, finally lifting her gaze. Goodbye, Ethan. I stepped back, letting her walk toward the door. I didn't stop her. She paused for a moment, hand on the knob, then turned once more. Take care of yourself. Really? I will, I said softly. And then she left. The door clicked shut behind her, and the silence felt different this time. Not heavy, not haunting. Just quiet. I exhaled, letting the tension drain from my shoulders. For the first time, I felt complete. The past was gone. And so was she. I stepped onto the balcony, coffee in hand, and let the morning air brush across my face. The sky was pink and gold, the city slowly waking beneath me. I sank into the chair, feeling something I hadn't in months, calm. I survived, I whispered to myself. I really did. The house was quiet behind me, sunlight spilling across the walls, untouched, mine. I thought about Lena, about Mark, about every betrayal and heartbreak. The pain had been sharp, all-consuming. But now, sitting here, I realized, it didn't control me anymore. I took a slow sip of coffee. This house, it isn't what I lost. It's what I survived. Noah had called yesterday, checking in. You okay, man? He'd asked. I am, I had replied. For the first time in a long time, I'm okay. He laughed softly. You sound lighter. I am lighter, I admitted. The nightmares, the anger, the constant ache, they're gone. I'm still here, and I'm breathing. And that's enough. Ava texted me while I watched the sunrise. Hey, I was thinking, want to see the living room? It's finished. I smiled faintly, fingers hovering over my phone. Yeah. I'll tell her to come by. I typed the message and sent it. She'd probably noticed the calm in my words, the lack of hesitation. That wasn't there before. This house was supposed to be my future with her, I said quietly, staring at the horizon. But now, it's my fresh start. My sanctuary. My life reclaimed. I thought about every tear, every scream, every lonely night I'd spent here. Each memory now felt like a stepping stone, a lesson carved into the walls, shaping me without breaking me. I used to think it would hurt forever, I whispered. But it didn't. And I survived. I traced my fingers along the balcony railing, feeling the warmth of the sun on my skin. For the first time, the house didn't feel haunted. It felt alive. Mine. The city below buzzed, indifferent to my past, unaware of the wars I'd fought here alone. But I didn't care. I'd won in ways no one else could measure. Quiet, I murmured. Strong. Mine. I finished my coffee, stood, and glanced back at the rooms, the sunlight reflecting off the polished floor, the empty walls now holding hope instead of pain. I sent Ava a final text, come by anytime. You'll like it. And then I whispered, softly, to the house, to myself, to the world. I live here alone now, and that is my quiet revenge.